The history of Saudi Arabia spans millennia and includes religious, political, and economic transformations that have shaped the identity of this vast desert nation, making it a central player in the Islamic and global world. The Arabian Peninsula has been inhabited since prehistoric times, with nomadic tribes such as the Bedouins populating the desert, mainly engaging in caravan trade, pastoralism, and, in some regions, agriculture. Among the most notable pre-Islamic civilizations were the Nabateans, skilled builders and traders famous for the city of Petra, now in Jordan, and the civilization of Dilmun in the eastern part of the peninsula, which played a key role as a trading center between Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley. In the 7th century AD, the peninsula underwent a monumental transformation with the birth of Islam. In 610 AD, in Mecca, a merchant named Muhammad began receiving divine visions and revelations, leading him to preach a new religious message based on the worship of a single God, Allah, and a call for social justice and morality. Muhammad, however, faced hostility from Meccan merchants, who feared the new religion could undermine the local economy, strongly tied to the polytheistic worship at the Kaaba, a sacred structure that attracted pilgrims. In 622 AD, after enduring severe persecution, Muhammad and his followers sought refuge in Medina in an event known as the Hijra, which marks the start of the Islamic calendar. From Medina, Muhammad consolidated a political and religious community, and within a few years, he unified the peninsula's tribes under Islam, forever changing the region's history and giving rise to a civilization that would shape the world. Following Muhammad's death, Islam spread rapidly, transforming into an empire that extended from the Middle East to North Africa and Asia. The Arabian Peninsula became the spiritual heart of the Islamic world, with Mecca and Medina, the birthplace and first settlement of Muhammad, becoming the primary religious centers. However, the area soon began to fragment politically, with various clans and tribes seeking autonomy. In the 16th century, the western part of the peninsula, known as the Hijaz, where Mecca and Medina are located, fell under the rule of the Ottoman Empire. Although the Ottomans maintained control over these holy cities, they had only indirect control over the region, allowing many local clans, including the Saud dynasty, to govern themselves. In the 18th century, the first Saudi state was formed through a religious and political alliance between Muhammad ibn Saud, leader of the city of Diriyah, and a religious reformer, Muhammad ibn Abd al-Wahhab. Ibn Abd al-Wahhab preached a return to the original purity and monotheism of Islam, seeking to eliminate idolatry, popular beliefs, and innovations that had infiltrated the faith. This religious doctrine, known as Wahhabism, became the foundational ideology of the Saudi kingdom and was forcefully promoted to unify the tribes. However, the Ottomans, allied with Egypt, invaded and destroyed Diriyah in 1818, temporarily ending the Saudi reign. Despite the defeat, the Saud dynasty remained influential in the region, and by the mid-19th century, the second Saudi state was established with its capital in Riyadh. However, internal conflicts and opposition from other tribes led to its fragmentation. Only in the early 20th century, with the rise of Abd al-Aziz ibn Saud, did the dynasty reclaim power. Abd al-Aziz launched a series of military and political campaigns that led to the reconquest of Riyadh in 1902 and the unification of most of the peninsula under his control. In 1932, he officially declared the founding of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, marking the creation of the modern Saudi state. In 1938, the discovery of vast oil reserves radically changed the country. Oil transformed Saudi Arabia from a poor desert state into a global economic power. The alliance between the Saudi royal family and American oil companies like Aramco marked the beginning of a privileged relationship with the United States. After World War II, Saudi oil production became essential to the global economy, and the country established itself as a leader in OPEC, the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, gaining increasing economic and political influence. Domestically, Saudi Arabia remained a theocratic state guided by Wahhabi principles, with strict religious observance and stringent control over society. However, the economic modernization driven by oil revenues also created social and political tensions. The country began a gradual path of modernization and industrialization, but maintained strong conservatism in social and cultural matters, with significant restrictions on women's rights and freedom of expression. In the 21st century, the country embarked on an ambitious reform plan with the rise to power of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, MBS, who, through the Vision 2030 Inches program, set out to diversify the Saudi economy and reduce its dependence on oil by focusing on sectors such as tourism, entertainment, and technology. MBS introduced significant reforms, such as allowing women to drive and granting greater social freedoms, opening the country to cultural events and a more modern image. However, MBS's reforms have been accompanied by a strong crackdown on dissent, with imprisonments of human rights activists and critical voices. Saudi Arabia is also involved in complex geopolitical dynamics in the region, with its intervention in the Yemeni civil war and confrontation with Iran for influence in the Middle East. One of the most controversial episodes was the murder of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018, which sparked international criticism. Today, Saudi Arabia finds itself in a delicate balance. While maintaining its position as the guardian of Islam's holy sites and its conservative identity, it seeks to adapt to a rapidly changing world with ambitions for economic and social modernization that challenge its own traditions.